What's he listening to?
The Young God Podcast.
God Gang, welcome. My name is Rodney Amalkache, and you're listening to my podcast about being the best version of yourself in all things. In this episode, I turn the unflinching gaze that is the young God upon greatness. What does it mean, and what does it take to be great? Do you have it in you? I ask because 2026 is the year of the fire horse in the Chinese zodiac, a year symbolizing energy, action, and transformation. My brothers and sisters, this is the year to be great.
And I know we're in a subjective business, but the truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. I'm as inspired by Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, and Viola Davis as I am by Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, and I want to be up there. So I'm deeply grateful to that. This doesn't signify that, but it's a little more fuel, it's a little more ammo to keep going. Thank you so much.
That was Timothée Chalamet, the star of the Dune movies, giving his acceptance speech after becoming the youngest ever winner for Best Actor at this year's SAG Awards at age 29. As you can imagine, his words polarized the audience, not just those sitting there, but all over the world. Some were like, how dare he? Because actors usually play it safe when they give award acceptance speeches, right? They say stuff like, I never expected this to happen to me. Oh my God, I'm so lucky, I'm so grateful. Cue crocodile tears. And people would love them for it on some, oh my God, he's so humble. That's the typical path, the easier path. But here is this young man taking the road less traveled by choosing to speak his truth and own up to his ambitions. It may seem conceited, but it's actually a very vulnerable thing to admit that you want to be great. And that opens one up to criticism from those with no connection to greatness whatsoever. It makes sense why one would feign humility and hide their ambition. But what they don't understand is that true humility is being honest about who you are, where you're at, and what you want. And the irony is that you cannot be truly great without being truly humble. Timothy is like me for real. He gets it. He reminded me of my own acceptance speech after winning awards in 2022. I made a whole episode titled The Ultimate Acceptance Speech. Listen. I made a promise in 2020 on an episode of this podcast to be the best podcaster I can possibly be, to commit fully to my gift, to my platform, and to my purpose. Safe to say I've done that and then some. And these 2 awards are just the latest in keeping that promise. You should listen to the full episode later. Link in the description of this episode. Just like I did, he's publicly committing to honoring his craft, his gift, and putting his peers on notice. I can relate to those ambitions and his voicing of them. And we're not the only ones.
The phrase "the GOAT" was coined by Muhammad Ali. He referred to himself, I am the greatest of all time, which ultimately many would concede he was. This was a metric that was unheard of before him. And it was also brazen to say that about yourself in real time as you are making the legacy that you'll be remembered for. Like, trust me, I'm working on something, and when you see when it's finished, you will agree. I am the greatest of all time. Yes!
As you can see, this is simply what greatness does. They know first before anyone else, and then they prove it. This is the energy you need to have going into the new year. If you know who you are, if you sense greatness inside you, honor it. Strive for it. Striving for greatness is essentially the pursuit of immortality, not by living forever, but by doing something so epic that it will be remembered for eternity. In this episode, I will demystify greatness and the mentality that makes winning inevitable. I will share what I call the sweet science of greatness. Give me 30 minutes and I will teach you how to do nothing but win. How to become the one who always wins. So that you can look yourself in the mirror and mean it when you say,
all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I
Be forewarned. This episode is for those obsessed with greatness, those who see greatness in themselves and are working towards it. If this isn't you, skip this episode. Because from this point, I will speak with a seriousness that will make your shallow souls shiver.
Good God Almighty.
My name is Rodney Amorkache, and you're welcome to The Young God, a podcast for greatness.
Yeah. Stand back, gotta talk. Watch cost.
Some are born great. Some achieve greatness. And some have greatness thrust upon them. Greatness sounds like this immense, distant thing, which it is for most people. But in truth, the path to greatness is actually quite simple. Just don't take the path that tempts you with ease and comfort. There are only two paths. By avoiding one, you'll land on the other. Most great people didn't have a choice. Life dealt them a hand whereby they had no other option but to be great. But the rest of us, people like you and I, we had the choice between ease and discomfort. Most people choose ease, while much fewer, people like me, choose the uncertain path, the difficult path. That choice makes all the difference. Choosing this path means isolation, feeling lost, and finding your way, not with a map, but with a compass. In the process, creating a completely new way for yourself and for those coming after. Whoa, I just had an intrusive thought. Bear with me. I feel like men did greater things when boobs were easy. When boobs weren't easily accessible. Yes, breasts. Hear me out, okay? I'm thinking out loud here. Back in the day, one of the incentives for men to be great was access to the opposite sex. Men did great things to earn the attention and attraction of queens, princesses, and maidens. Women themselves were mostly modest, but in the company of high-achieving men, all that modesty went out the window. Her immodesty was his reward. But today, access to the naked female body is like pure water. All you need is a phone and data, and maybe some money. And so, men are not as incentivized to aim high. Instead, we have mostly mediocre men arguing with women online. That's why the great French emperor Napoleon famously said, "In our time, no one has the conception of what is great. It is therefore up to me to show them." I feel like that sometimes. I swear. Like, I see people sleeping on their gifts, making excuses for their mediocrity, and soaking in it, outsourcing their thinking to AI, calling everything art, and supporting talentless individuals who will be forgotten in less than a year. To them, everything is iconic, everything is legendary, but they have no goddamn idea. There is a vacuum of greatness waiting to be filled. Dear listener, will you fill it? Will you show up and show them? If you see yourself in this role, keep listening. The journey to greatness begins with a decision. The certain path or the uncertain path. My way or society's way. Every great person arrives at a point where they must stand against the culture. Where he says, "This is me, and the damned world can go to hell." It seems like Timothée Chalamet arrived at that point this year, because months after his SAG Award win, he gave an interview mentioning the fact that he's given top-of-the-line performances these last 7 or 8 years, and he doesn't want people to take it for granted, to think his run is normal.
I know the classiest thing would be to downplay the effort that went into this role and how much this means to me, but the truth is this was 5.5 years of my life. I poured everything I had into playing this incomparable artist, Mr. Bob Dylan. And I know we're in a subjective business, but the truth is I'm really in pursuit of greatness.
He's just like me for real. Objectively speaking, he's spot on. But as usual, some people got mad at his matter-of-fact manner of speaking. And I know Timothy doesn't mean it in a conceited way. He just knows the effort he's put in. He also knows that ours is a generation of short attention spans where people easily forget or they don't know the value of what they've been privileged to witness. So you gotta let them know. You gotta remind them. And I want to encourage you to live your life in this way. When you do something great and someone says, I like that, you should look them in the eye and say, thank you. I worked really hard on that, and I know it's great. Because it's one of the ways you honor the gift. It also makes you immune to the emotional pull of criticisms and compliments, something that is very important for greatness. The only approval you should need is your own. Do you know how powerful that is? That is as empowered as empowerment can get. If you are first and foremost satisfied with yourself and your effort and your output, you've won.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Speaking of winning, what if I told you that not all winners are made equal? There are levels to this. Level 1, playing not to lose, where you're like, I better perform or I'll be in trouble. Level 2, playing to cruise, where you're like, as long as I continue to perform, I can cruise. Level 3, playing to improve. Maybe I can accomplish more than I thought. Maybe I'm better than I think I am. This new thought process is usually triggered by a belief-altering event. Level 4, playing to compete. I think I can be the best. After new success expands the belief system. The performer is now powerful, but still driven by ego gratification. And level 5, the final level, playing to win. Here, an event shakes the performer to their core and triggers inner wisdom. The performer starts to see his or her performance as a game in which there is no way to lose. It becomes, I cannot fail. I can only learn and grow. The only person I'm competing with is myself. I no longer feel fear because it's impossible for me to lose. I feel so grateful just to have an opportunity to be the best I can be. I see my performance as the primary catalyst of my self-actualization. I don't have to be who I've always been. I learn and I grow. That's how I win. At this point, the performer is driven by spirit instead of ego or illusion. They are totally focused. Fear does not exist at this level, only love. This is the true winner. This is what it means to win. This is where greatness really begins. This is the level where the performer gets the first glimpse of their greatness. They see themselves clearly for the first time. They see who they can become. And depending on their personality type, they may proceed in silence or they may choose to announce it to the world.
I'm dope, nigga. Like, no, I'm not even exaggerating.
I mean, it's fascinating how, as a society, we expect elite performers to pretend they don't know they're elite. Hip-hop is maybe the only field where its practitioners can freely express that they are the best. And we let them because it's not about us believing it. It's about them believing it.
You know, we the best in the business. Why you think I mean when I say that? What the fuck you think I mean when I say that, man? We the best in their business. There is no competition for us, man.
And that explains a lot because Timothy and I were raised on hip-hop culture. That brazen audacity rubbed off on us. Meanwhile, other fields require their goods to display fake modesty so that people like them more, so that they are PR friendly. The audience's discomfort says more about their relationship to ambition and confidence than about the claim itself, I'll have you know. I don't think people understand that you really can't do anything at a high level if you don't have some underlying belief that you are great. You don't become a star believing you are sand. Every great person, any person whom you think is objectively great, knew they were great before the world did. David, Moses, Jesus, all of them. Greatness always recognizes itself. Every person that attempts to do something great knew they were cut from a different cloth and acted like it. Conviction is the fuel. Sure, not all end up achieving public recognition, but the desire to try, to go for it, is greatness itself. Fam, if we fail searching for greatness. because there's beauty in the attempt. Hey there, if you're new here, please subscribe. That's how podcasts survive. Wherever you're listening, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, or Jam It, just hit that subscribe button and leave a rating or review. That is all I'll ever ask of you. Greatness is a mental and spiritual thing, but biology plays a significant role too. In the previous episode, I spoke about the nervous system, the network of your brain, spinal cord, and nerves that regulate how you think, feel, and respond. I spoke about how the nervous system can be regulated or dysregulated in different people. If you've listened to that episode, what I'm about to say will make sense. You see, greatness depends on your ability to consistently perform at your highest level. And this in turn depends on your nervous system. A regulated nervous system provides the calm, focus, and resilience needed to act consistently. A dysregulated nervous system makes it impossible to be great. You will self-sabotage, burn out easily, and be inconsistent with your effort. A regulated nervous system is a product of being aligned in mind, body, and spirit. What does this alignment look like? A boxer said it best. There are times I'll be on the treadmill where I'll be running and I'll get a cramp in my calf. And I've still got 8 minutes to go because I've set the timer for 40 minutes and I'm on 32 minutes. The cramp starts and I will run with one leg, literally limping, because the treadmill can make me quit. What happens when I get into the ring, get hit and get hurt? My opponent is going to make me quit too. This important habit teaches you to believe that no matter how hard things get, you're the type of person that will find a way. That's a mind and body that's aligned. As for the spirit, he goes on to say, it doesn't matter if people are watching or if nobody will know you quit. Don't. You don't ever want to put that spirit inside yourself. You've got to keep those demons out. They are demons, and if you let them in often enough, they will take over. Do you see how biology, psychology, and spirituality connect to make greatness happen? Because on the path to greatness, shit will get real in ways you cannot imagine. You will find yourself in situations that your brain has no reference for. No book, no scripture, no mentor could ever prepare you. There are things flesh and blood cannot reveal to you. That's where spirit comes in. So fam, you must be aligned in body, mind, and spirit to do great things. I remember watching this video where a record producer in LA gave the tea on why most musicians will never be great. He said, most musicians don't fail because they are bad. They fail because their nervous system can't survive the industry. The music industry attacks nervous systems. He said the biggest myth in music is that success depends on exposure. It depends on whether your body and mind can handle being unseen longer than you expected. The most talented musicians quit because their brain interprets silence as failure. He said, labels don't scout talent. They scout emotional durability, the ability to create when numbers drop, to care when no one else cares, to hope when no one is calling, to perform after rejection number 20, to stay human when algorithms treat you like a product. He said that 90% of rising artists are crushed under the invisible weight of being ignored. Artists don't lose their dream. They lose their self-trust. Then he told the story of a singer who went viral overnight and disappeared 6 months later. Not because she lacked songs, but because the dopamine crash after fame felt like grief. Her body couldn't handle the altitude. And no one teaches artists how to breathe up there. It's either you got the lungs for it, or you don't. So it's two things. Remaining consistent when the applause is at its lowest, and not getting carried away when the applause is at its highest. Character under intense emotional pressure is the real tea. Not talent, not looks, not luck. Just the ability to keep doing you without collapsing into comparison, self-doubt, or the terror of being too late. Fam, in any field, in any endeavor, your biggest enemy isn't the industry, the economy, or the government. It's the version of you that believes you're running out of time. That belief kills more dreams than poor marketing or missed opportunities. It's all about your nervous system. You must learn to regulate it. If not, you will self-sabotage and blame your village people. Your inner peace is the real blueprint that the universe follows to build your reality. That's that body, mind, spirit connection. I cannot overstate it. Still on the body and mind connection, an underrated aspect of winning is physical posture. Yes, how you stand, sit, and move sends subconscious messages to everyone around you, including yourself. Look at you right now. Yes, you, slouching. You want to be great. You want to win. You want to lead, but you're slouching. Is that how you present yourself to the world? Head down, spine bent? Being a winner isn't something one just turns on and off. By the time you've remembered to sit up straight, it's too late. You might as well wear a sign that says, "I promise to disappoint you." Only Messi can afford to slouch. The rest of us must be vigilant against poor posture. And I bring up Messi because he is known for slouching when he sits. Google it. Always stand up straight with your shoulders back. Once you notice yourself slouching, sit up and stay up. The more you do this, the better your physical frame becomes and the stronger you become mentally, because the act of noticing and adjusting your posture every single time rewires your brain. And before you know it, it becomes automatic. Again, it's a nervous system thing. There's a phenomenon that takes place in the brain called neuroplasticity. And it's about how the nervous system rewires itself through practice and repetition. Every skill, habit, or mindset that leads to greatness will literally be carved into your neural pathways if you perform them often enough, especially during mental exhaustion. Pushing through your mental limit is how the skill levels up. That's the blueprint for mental strength. The thing is, no one is born being able to endure long periods of intense discomfort. It's a muscle you must develop. Noticing and adjusting your posture is one of the ways for developing it. Because showing up for yourself in the little, seemingly inconsequential ways is how you build the capacity to show up when it really counts. Oh, and there's the added bonus of not having a bad back in your old age. Who wouldn't want that? So, once you choose the uncomfortable path, you will need all the mental strength you can get. If your mental strength is at its peak, you will bounce back from setbacks with such speed that it's almost disrespectful. If your mental strength is at its peak, you will develop a thick skin for chaos. You will have grit, the will not to quit. I read somewhere that grit is the currency God accepts when you have nothing else to offer. Whew, that's a bar. If your mental strength is at its peak, you won't just test limits, you will blow past them. Most boundaries will feel irrelevant. That's the mark of greatness.
You can go and verify.
All the greats in any domain possess an animalistic hunger to know and test their physical, mental, and spiritual limits. It's beyond letters and numbers, molecules and atoms. It's a religious devotion to the details that few souls ever reach. Once you're addicted to that exploration of this place beyond limits, it becomes the only place you feel alive. I can relate. But beware, eventually you will hit a point that feels like the edge of everything. You would have gone so far that the only thing left is to find out where your true limit lies. That's when you finally recognize the real threshold, the forbidden fruit of greatness. And when you reach it, there's this moment when a still inner voice says, "This is it. Turn back." That's not fear. That's wisdom. Knowing when to stop. And you must respect it. But also, you must anchor yourself to it. That's the peg in the ground. That's your standard you must never cross. Are you with me, dear listener? This is free game I'm giving you. This is the game within the game of greatness.
Show me the meaning of being lonely.
This is one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite boy bands. The Backstreet Boys asked this question, and for the longest time, I wondered too. Then I decided to be great, and then I got my answer. Loneliness and solitude are the twin turbines of greatness. Both words have similar ideas, but they are actually referring to two very different experiences. Loneliness is the uncomfortable feeling that no one understands you, sees what you see, or feels what you feel. That the unique burden of greatness is yours alone to bear. Solitude, on the other hand, is the blissful feeling of isolation from the world in order to get closer to yourself, refine your skills, and lay the foundation for your greatness. I opened up about these feelings to a wise man once, and he told me, God isolates the chosen ones. Somewhere else I read, a man who is alone is a neighbor of God. In the quiet of solitude, the soul remembers what the noise of the world makes it forget. Such solitude becomes a furnace where character is refined and faith is clarified. Those who walk lonely paths often find that God walks closest beside them. In solitude, the chosen discover the strength meant to carry them into their purpose.
We're going to talk about the guy who doesn't run in a pack, the one you rarely see in group photos, the one who moves alone. People think he's antisocial, maybe even arrogant. He's strategic because when you think about it, let me just break down the truth. Most men waste their energy trying to impress other men. Always needing a crew, always needing validation, always taking big in front of their boys. But the man who's comfortable being alone, that's a man who's locked in on his purpose.
I don't know who that is, but man, she knows ball.
Yeah.
Extremely calculated? Check. Ahead of the curve? Check. No need for validation? Check. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who delights in solitude is either a wild beast or a god." Which would you say I am? Sounds like a god to me.
God did. So leave me in the dark.
Nietzsche said what he said because solitude/loneliness can drive one crazy. It's one of the things that can dysregulate one's nervous system, especially if they don't know who they are, or worse, they don't know who God is. The man who sees isolation as a negative and succumbs to those demons will waste his life away. But the man who understands that God sometimes puts him through hell so that he can learn to turn it into heaven will fulfill his purpose. This is alchemy, magic, God-level stuff, where men possess the conscious ability to create heaven on earth, to turn hell into heaven. This ability comes after they do this internally themselves. Fam, all of this to say that you must refuse to civilize your mind. If your mind goes soft and civilized, society will reduce you to their standards, and greatness will elude you, starting with your posture, then your habits, then your vices, then your thoughts and beliefs, so that you can gain access to not just the levels of the game, but also the levels beyond the game, so that you can go deeper than anyone else. In your solitude, train harder than anyone trains, read books no one else reads, and you will see. You will have experiences no one else has. You will have revelations that no one else can even fathom. You must mythologize yourself and everything in your life. See your loneliness as a reflection of the 40 days Jesus spent in the wilderness. See your struggles as heroic trials, your victories as divine rewards, your path as a sacred quest. Turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. This is the alchemy of greatness. Suffering plus time plus refusal to bow equals an authority no school can teach.
This got talk. This got talk. This got talk. Let God talk.
It brings some excitement to the
that said, the truth is, you can't create anything whole by yourself. Not children, not art, not meaning, not even your own becoming. Wholeness requires the thing you don't have, the thing that scares you, the darkness if you're light, the chaos if you're order, the other person who sees the world backwards from you. And this is why marriage is so hard and so necessary, because trying to become complete alone is like making a baby by yourself. It's biologically impossible, just as becoming complete by yourself is spiritually impossible. The self cannot actualize the self. It needs friction. It needs a mirror. It needs another self to show it the parts of reality it's blind to. You need a team, a partner, a community. You need believers and advocates. You become whole, or rather, you become more through connection. Isolation was never the goal. It was only a necessary part of the process, a means to develop the things one can bring to the table. Are you with me?
Mayday!
And I really hope you're with me, because I'm about to drop the hottest take of the episode, and maybe my hottest take of the year. Brace yourself. Transgender people. There are a lot of opinions about them and the validity of their point of view. And though I don't agree with them, I can respect them. I think it's brilliant what they've been able to achieve. Meaning, for you to conceive in your mind that you're something that you're not, and actually work towards it and make physical changes, that's powerful. It's powerful to me because it tells me you could be anything you wanted to be if you put your mind to it. But you chose the opposite gender. Not only that, you believe this thing so much that you're willing to live a life of turmoil, enjoy a life of criticism, lose family, and make all kinds of sacrifices to live what you believe is your truth. And to take it a step further, you force the entire world to entertain and bend to your whim. These are the seeds of greatness. Every human carries the same power. Imagine if trans people felt that way about their raw potential. They could have been delusional and great, but instead they're just delusional. Point is, everyone has a capacity for greatness, just not the means to tap into it.
David and Goliath. And God gave me a revelatory gift. He showed me something in this. He said, you know, I use great moments to pull greatness out of great men. I did not send David to slay Goliath. I sent Goliath to prove to David that what resides in him is a giant. This giant that sits before you today, it is not for your destruction, it is for your construction.
The truth is that most people are waiting patiently against insurmountable odds for something extraordinary to happen to them. Until that happens, they project their hopes and dreams of greatness onto those who become great. They become devoted stans, servants, admirers, and imitators. They live vicariously through the greatness of others. For it is much easier to admire a great person and become a stan than to become great themselves. Believe me, I get it. People like Michael Jackson, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Steph Curry can do no wrong in my eyes. I understand the allure of greatness, but growing up means daring to look behind the curtain, to realize that they're not that different from you. You do this by becoming disciples, not consumers, spectators, lobbyists, or admirers. Discipleship is about being a student. The word itself is related to learning or discernment, meaning that when you find someone really impressive, you should learn at their feet and aspire to the experiences that formed them, both internal and external, instead of worshipping them. This is the main reason greatness exists, to inspire, to show us what we can become. You must turn that outward stand energy into inner greatness and ascend. Let us pause for a moment and catch our breaths, shall we? Recenter yourself to this moment by taking several deep breaths. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Again. In through your nose. Hold it. Hold it. Out through your mouth. Let's resume. Fam, your ancestors didn't ensure your existence just for you to kiss another man's ass. Yes, I'm taking it there. Your ancestors prayed for someone like you in their bloodline. They sang about you. They told stories about who you would be. And if you truly believe this, if you truly understand what I'm communicating, that your ancestors lived and died for you, that you stand on the shoulders of giants, that everything you have now was fought and labored for by those who came before you and had way less than you. They did so not for you to simply accumulate worldly possessions. Nothing material matters to them at this point. Their prayers are not for your indulgence, no, but for your awakening. You honor them by freeing yourself from this illusionary matrix, because in liberating yourself, you liberate them too. Talk about undoing generational curses. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to do something that makes your ancestors live forever. That is, through your enlightenment, awakening, and becoming, they will be liberated and remembered. You could be the reason people trace down your ancestors. Isn't that an additional reason to be great? If you're listening to this, if you're tuned into this very episode, if you've ever felt destined for great things, I need you to know that you're not here by accident, but as an answer to hope carried across generations. Every step you take, every boundary you break, every way you choose differently, honors prayers you have never heard, but were meant to fulfill. And if not for your ancestors, then for your future generations. Either way, you are the one. This is your time. No pressure.
Look at me, man. Do I look like I subscribe to pressure, or do I look like I apply it? We apply pressure. We don't subscribe to it.
Whew. I am exhausted. Being great is exhausting. Even talking about it is equally exhausting. But I hope that with all these things I've said so far, I have appealed to the greatness lying dormant within you. Are you ready to move into your greatness era?
Yes!
I hope so. As you can see, the sweet science of greatness is quite predictable. You must know yourself to be great before the public tells you, and align your body, mind, and spirit, your words, thoughts, and actions to reflect it. You must resist idolizing other great people. You must choose the uncertain path and embrace the solitude and loneliness that come with it. You will suffer, and finally, you must show up. That is how you become great. There is a twist, however. Do not chase greatness directly. You can't. You will fail. In fact, nothing worthwhile can be directly pursued. Not happiness, success, meaning, and certainly not greatness. They are all the byproduct of something else, which is doing the little things, the important things, every day. Showing up every day. Growing up every day. Leveling up every day. Greatness is like a shadow that follows you when you stop chasing it and start chasing the light, the more important things. The more you focus on the light, the greater the shadow your efforts will cast. And before you know it, you're the person whose shadow others get lost in. Life is funny like that. Everything real, everything true is a side effect of something else. The trick is doing the thing that creates it, not chasing the feeling itself. And as you begin the new year, I invite you to think and act like a winner, poised to do something great. As you go about your business, accept that much of the process will feel unremarkable. Greatness will not bring you happiness, but it will bring you something more. Fulfillment, which is a longer lasting, more predictable feeling. Fulfillment is the feeling you feel when you finally achieve something remarkable and you look back on the journey, the late nights, the hard decisions, the failures, and realize that the struggle itself was the reward. After all, you always knew you would get here. You always knew you would be great. You just didn't know how it would go or what it would take. Now you know, and you can be fulfilled in your effort. Imagine you're Napoleon, the great French emperor, looking at everyone around you and thinking, these motherfuckers have no idea what greatness is. It is up to me to show them. Yes. Yes.
Yes!
Fam, yes, show up and show them again and again. The exceptional do it once. The extraordinary do it all the fucking time.
Please say that again.
The exceptional do it once. The extraordinary do it all the fucking time. No need to talk too much or explain. But also, you will try, you will fail, you will fuck up. But that is a flex in and of itself. To fuck up frequently in the pursuit of greatness. And whatever you do, just do no harm. A word is enough for a God. This is the young God.
This got talk. This got talk. Let God talk.